Welcome back to The Good Life. We're joined now by GP and 2006 Telstra Businesswoman of the Year, Dr. Jenny Smiley, to talk to us about a very important issue, advanced care planning. Welcome on the program, Jenny.
Hello, Gwen. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's really good to have you.
Thank you.
Well, let's kick off with, what is an advanced care plan?
An advanced care plan is an opportunity for you to put in written form the way you would like your life to end, given that we all are going to die sooner or later, and we may not have time to make decisions. But if there is time, I think it's nice if family and loved ones have had time to communicate the manner in which they would like their final hours, days or weeks to be managed, and what is important to them, what they regard as respectful and dignified as possible a way for them to make their final journey.
And why do you think it's so important to have one?
I think it's important to begin the discussion in a time of non-crisis, before there are family gathered in hospital corridors and no one really has communicated their needs, desires and wishes clearly before. That it's easier to have the conversation with family when there's no particular issue on the horizon. It is then much less emotional and just generally an easier conversation to have, and it helps get everybody on the same page, can save a lot of arguing or controversy at crucial times, and allows family perhaps to say goodbye to loved ones in a much calmer, nicer way, knowing that the patient's wishes have been respected.
But have you got any tips for how you'd first bring it up?
I think really all of us should have an advanced care plan, and that just because you've reached a certain age doesn't mean, well, now's the time I need to have this discussion, because you could be 25 and be involved in an accident or have a sudden illness. We hear of young footballers passing away on the field. So I think that we just generally need to be brave enough, all of us, to broach the subject about, if I died, I don't want to be buried, I'd prefer to be cremated, or, you know, you don't need to necessarily bring it up in very medicalised terms at the beginning.
And what sort of things should they consider having in an advanced care plan?
I have one lady who filled one out, who went to the trouble of saying what priest she would like to come and give last rites, what friends and relatives she wanted notified first, the fact that she wanted to be buried, not cremated. So it can be as specific or as loose as you like, and it's not binding in stone, so that as you age or your condition changes, you're quite able to update that document.
Okay.
So it really,
so is it a legal document?
It is a legal document, and if medical staff go against the wishes that are put down in that advanced care directive, then potentially they can be punished by the law.
Okay. Who can help prepare one of these documents?
There are documents available on the internet, and your director has kindly put some of those links on the website for us. But you can write something simply in longhand if that's what you want. So it's really about beginning to have the discussion, and I think looking on the internet for some of the pro formas at least gives you an idea of the kind of things that you could begin to think about yourself, because most of us haven't thought about the actual mechanics of dying and what might happen to us if we reach a hospital.
And then where would you lodge the form?
I would suggest that you keep a copy with your own important papers. Make sure family know where your important papers are. Maybe you would put a copy with your solicitor with your will, and maybe you would give a copy to each or several crucial family members who are likely to be contactable in the event of crisis. I did have a patient whose child was dying, and they had put in a not for resuscitation order, which was lodged at the hospital, and at a crucial time the document was misplaced in the system. So I think it's worth keeping copies yourself, so that at 11 o'clock at night they can be found if needed.
So is there anything else you wanted to let us know about this?
I think that once people look at the pro formas, they may feel that there are things they need to discuss with a medical professional. because there are technicalities that perhaps lay people may not understand and can only be explained by people with a medical background. But that doesn't mean that that's a necessary part of the process either. So I think we need to make it as plain and simple and easy and non-emotional as we can.
Okay. So you wouldn't have to complete it all in one sitting.
No.
You could get the form either from your doctor or from the website that we'll show shortly, have a look at it, think about what you want to do yourself, refer to other professionals such as your doctor or other health professional if you've got some questions. And then I suppose if you've taken the initiative, that's one way of introducing it to the rest of the family.
Exactly, and I think it doesn't have to be something that you do on the spur of the moment.
Yes.
It's better if it is a process, a work in
progress.
In progress, that's exactly right.
All right. Well, thanks
you.
so much for
Thank you.
coming on the show today and
Thank you,
telling
my
us
pleasure.
about that. And let's hope that gets people thinking about this as an option. So thanks so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
on The Good Life, Jenny. It's
Excellent.
been a great pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.